much for being here today. I'm coming to you today with an all levels class with just a little bit of everything. We're going to be doing some heart opening, we're going to be doing some hip opening, some hip releases, a little bit of everything, really focusing on our breath. Because this is an all levels class, I'll give lots of options. As always, be mindful of your body. This is your practice, so take it at a pace that works for you. We're going to be moving slowly and mindfully. Ease into the deeper stretches to a point where you feel a slight edge, but never beyond that. So you never want to move to a place of any kind of pain in any way. If you're feeling or experiencing any pain, always back away. And always keep in mind that my cues are just ideas and suggestions. So if something doesn't feel good or feel right in your body, listen to your inner guidance and your wisdom to help bring you to a place that feels good and right for you. So if you're doing something completely different, that is perfectly okay. In fact, I love to see that because that means you're honoring yourself and you're listening to yourself. So it's a beautiful thing. So we'll begin in a comfortable seated position. You can cross at your legs if you'd like. You could sit up on a block, whatever feels best for you. And maybe wiggle side to side, really root in, ground in through your sits bones. If you want to sit on the edge of a blanket, you could do that as well. You'll definitely want to have a couple of blocks handy for today's practice. So if you don't have these at home, then using some books or some boxes, something like that to bring the earth a little closer to you, that would be very helpful. And then maybe having a blanket to support you and also to pull out for Shavasana to make yourself nice and comfortable. That would be great too. So once you arrive in that comfortable seated position, then lift up nice and tall through your spine and close down through your eyes and begin to let yourself settle. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with a sigh. You could do that again if it feels good. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. And then begin to return to a normal breathing pattern and begin to rest your awareness on that flow of your breath. And just observe. Watch the breath. Notice what you see, what you feel. And maybe when you're ready, begin to deepen the breath ever so slightly, just taking in a little more air on the inhale and letting go a little more deeply on the exhale. See if you can fill up and expand as you breathe in, creating space. And then as you exhale, feel yourself relaxing and letting go. Feel that sense of surrender washing over you. Letting go of all thought tension, letting go of all muscular tension, letting go of whatever you came in here with today. Allowing yourself to be right here, right now, in this moment, nowhere to go, nothing to do, but be fully present with your breath, with yourself, honoring yourself and your time on your mat. Continue following the breath for a few more rounds. As we've done in other practices, maybe you'd like to take a mental scan of your body. Begin with the crown of your head and work your way down, and use your exhale to soften and let go of any holding and any gripping and any tension you might be experiencing. So soften through the forehead. Relax that space between your brows. Soften all those tiny muscles around your eyes. Relax your cheeks, your jaw. Relax your tongue. Relax your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Soften any holding through your torso and in your tummy. Relax your hips, your legs, your knees, your ankles, your feet, and even your toes. Just let it all go. Move from that space of doing to that space of being right here. In the present moment, knowing this moment is the miracle. The past is behind you. The future hasn't arrived. It's this moment that matters. This moment and each moment as we move forward on our practice. Take a couple more rounds of breath. And when you're ready, on your inhale, lift the arms up high, palms touch overhead. On your exhale, draw your hands down to your heart. And in this time, in this moment, if you'd like to make an intention, set an intention for your practice, you can do so now, keeping it positive and in the present moment. As always, what feeling would you like to cultivate on your time, on your mat today? I am peaceful. I am healthy. I am joyful. Whatever resonates best with you, breathe that into your heart space. Feel those feelings coming alive within you. And then bow your forehead to your fingertips, connecting head to heart and sealing in that intention. Slowly, when you're ready, release your hands down to your lap. You can lift up through the crown of your head. Let your eyes softly flutter open, but keep a soft gaze. And just listen to my cues. You don't have to watch so much as just listen. Let your body take over, lead you to the place where you need to be in each moment. When you're ready, we're going to begin by taking some big circles with our torso, keeping the sits bones nice and rooted and grounded. It doesn't matter which direction you move in. We'll do a few of these circles. You might let your head and neck kind of fall and round as you circle forward and back. And the next time you come around to the front, go ahead and reverse directions. Really feeling into the body, warming up the spine. Take a couple more. These nice, beautiful circles. And when you feel ready, bringing your torso back to center, take an inhale, lift the arms up. On your exhale, let your right hand come down behind you, left fingertips reach to the side, side body stretch. Again, just warming up the spine, bringing the spine in all 6 directions. On your inhale, release both arms, reach up. Exhale, left hand comes down, right fingertips reach. We're going to find a little sway here. Inhale, arms up. Right hand comes down, left arms reach. Inhale through center, switching directions. Finding a little flow, a little movement here. Again, bringing the energy to the spine. You can connect with your breath as you come to one side and then the other. One more in each direction. Move with your breath at your own pace. Coming back through center, both arms reach tall. On your exhale, twist to the right. Right hand comes back behind you. Left hand comes to the outside of that right knee. Press into your hand to lift up tall through the spine. Slowly release, both arms reach up. Take that twist in the opposite direction. Releasing once again, both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, bring your hands back behind you. Roll your shoulders up, down, and back as you press your hands into the floor behind you. Lift through your heart. Lift your chin, lift your gaze, pull your belly button in to protect the low back. Breathing into your heart space. Slowly release, come back to center, bring your hands to the fronts of your knees. Lift up tall on the inhale. On your exhale, round through your spine, holding onto your knees, chin comes down towards your chest. Feel that nice stretch through your shoulders and your upper back. Wherever you're feeling it, knowing that that is perfect for you, breathe into the sensation. You might let your head rock side to side if that would feel good, breathing into the back and the side of the neck. And then we'll flow through a few of these seated cat-cows. So coming back to center, on your inhale, press your heart forward, lift your chin, lift your gaze, creating a little bit of an arch in your back. On your exhale, chin comes to your chest, rounding through your spine, holding onto your knees for support. A few more times with your own breath. Inhale, rocking forward. And exhale, rocking back. 2 more, go with your own breath. Last time, big breath in. And let it all out. Beautiful. From here, come back through center, either rolling over your knees or releasing onto one hip. We'll come into our tabletop position. If you would like to pad up your knees, you can if that's more comfortable for you. And just begin by taking some gentle rocks side to side, releasing any tension through the hips. And then from here, walking your hands forward just a little, begin to shift yourself forward to come into that knee down plank pose. So your belly button is lifted, your pelvis is lifted, nice and strong here, strong and stable through the core. Take another breath here. On your exhale, slowly shift your hips back, reaching your fingertips forward, coming into a child's pose. Feel that nice length through the spine as your fingertips reach forward. And now we'll move with the breath. Inhale, come back forward through your plank pose. If you want to dip your hips just slightly, coming into a little extension in this relaxed up dog, you can. As you exhale, press the hips back. A few more times with your breath. Inhaling, coming forward, either dipping the hips or staying in your plank pose. Exhale, send the hips back. 2 more times, nice and slow and easy. easy. And the last one, deep inhale and exhale. Shift forward once again into your knee down plank pose, and using strong arms, hugging your elbows towards your sides, very slowly lower yourself down onto your belly. From here, we're going to come into our Sphinx pose. So walk your hands forward, bring your elbows so that they're directly below your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Your forearms are parallel to one another. Again, your hands pressing into the mat, the tops of your feet pressing into the mat. Pull the belly button towards the spine to protect your low back. And begin to reach your heart forward through the gates of your arms. There might be a slight tilt forward of your chin as you keep your gaze in a steady spot, breathing and connecting with that breath. Pressing up out of the shoulders, long extension through the spine. Take a few more breaths here in your Sphinx pose. One more deep inhale, and on your exhale, very slowly lower yourself down. You might make a little pillow for your forehead by stacking your hands one on top of the other, and then bend at your knees, bringing your feet up towards the sky, and begin to make some big circles with your feet. Reversing directions when you're ready. And then coming back through center, just let your legs sway side to side, kind of windshield wiper side to side. That will take any tension out of the low back. And then coming through center, release the feet down to your mat. Walk your hands back next to your chest, and using the strength of your upper body, slowly press yourself back up through your tabletop position. In your tabletop position, on your inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky. On your exhale, thread that arm right through the opening of your left arm and left leg, and rest the side of your head right down on your mat, coming into your thread the needle. Beautiful shoulder stretch here. Nice, beautiful counter stretch for that Sphinx pose. When you're ready, press into that left hand. Slowly rise up. Right arm reaches up in a counter stretch, and then release that hand down. Same thing other side. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Thread that arm through. Come down onto the left side of your head. Relaxing, feeling that stretch to the back of the shoulder. When you're ready, press into that right palm, slowly unwind, left arm reaches up, and slowly release it back down. From here, walk your hands forward about a handprint, tuck your toes under, lift your hips, and come into downward facing dog. Once you arrive in your down dog, you might pedal your knees, lifting one heel and then the other. You might rock your hips side to side. Do what feels good and feels right in your body. You might bend both knees, really pressing into your palms to lengthen through the spine. And then begin to straighten them, feeling that nice stretch through the back of the legs. And then once you're ready, look up between the palms of your hands, and as many steps as it takes, just walk your feet forward, coming into a nice, easy, gentle forward fold. So keeping a little bend in your knees. Let yourself rock forward and back to settle and root down through the soles of your feet. You might grab onto opposite elbows and let yourself hang in your ragdoll shape. Or just let your hands gently brush down towards the earth. You might shake your head yes and no. Yes again, always ending on a positive, taking any tension, strain out of the neck. And then when you're ready, walk your hands up to your shins or your knees. Come up to a flat back, halfway lift, crown of your head reaching forward, tailbone pointing straight back. Take another breath. On your exhale, melt yourself forward once again into that forward fold. On your next inhale, bend your knees, press into the strength and the power of your legs as you rise up. Arms reach up overhead. On your exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Let's flow through a couple of these half suns just to get the energy moving. Take an inhale, arms reach up. On your exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet to rise up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. One more like that. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet, rise up, arms reach up. And exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Pause here for a moment. Feel, maybe recall the intention that you set just a few moments ago. On your next inhale, lift the arms high, interlace your fingers, extend your pointer fingers and place your left thumb over your right in Kali Mudra. Inhale as you lift up tall. On your exhale, slowly begin to bend to the right, coming into your crescent moon. Feeling that nice side body stretch here. Inhale, releasing, coming through center. On your exhale, take that side body stretch to the left. Inhale, release, come back through center, release the hands. On your exhale, take a little bend in your knees, and then slowly come into cactus arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift through your heart. Your chin and gaze may lift as well. So a little back bend here. Your belly button is pulling into your spine to protect the low back. And breathe here, right into that heart space. Feel the expansion, feel the lift. On your next inhale, both arms reach up high. On your exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Let your chest just rest down on the tops of your thighs. And then on your inhale, sweep your arms up and come into your chair pose. Nice and strong and stable. It doesn't matter how much your knees are bent. The weight is in your heels, fingertips reaching, shoulders relaxed. Continue to breathe, keep a steady gaze out in front of you. On your next inhale, straighten your legs, rise up. Maybe reach your fingertips back just a little in a tiny back bend. And then very slowly, swan dive down into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet to rise up, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to your heart. Take that little bend in your knees. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the heart, breathe into the heart space. Inhale, both arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Once again, bend your knees a lot, sweep the arms up and come into your chair pose one more time. Breathing deeply here, we'll hold it a little bit longer this time. Keep a steady gaze in front of you, relaxing the shoulders. On your next inhale, press into strong legs. Reach your fingertips maybe up and back a little. And exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Pause here. Maybe grab onto your blocks if you'd like, using them for support. Step your right foot way back, keeping your toes tucked under. Your right hand can come either to a block or all the way down to the earth. And inhale that left arm up to the sky, coming into a twist. Breathing deeply. Take another inhale here. On your exhale, release that hand down either to the earth or to your blocks. And then step that back foot forward just a little bit and maybe over to the right just slightly. Begin to walk your hands up that front leg. Pause at your hips. Make sure both hips are pointing forward. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up to the sky, coming into your crescent warrior. Those back toes remain tucked under. Back leg can be straight or bent slightly, completely up to you. That front knee is directly over the ankle. And breathe deep. Relax the shoulders. Take another big breath here. On your exhale, cactus the arms, squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting through the heart. You might begin to bend that back knee down towards your mat just slightly if you'd like. Completely your choice. And breathe. Big expansive breaths right into your heart space. Three more breaths here. On your next inhale, both arms reach up high. On your exhale, let your hands come down to your blocks. Bring them to their highest height out in front of that front foot. As you use the blocks for support for your hands, press into the power and the strength of that front leg to kick up through your back leg, coming into a supported warrior three. So toes are pointing straight down, heel is pressing away from you. Hips are nice and square here, nice and strong through that standing leg. Take another deep breath here. On your exhale, hug your knee into your chest and slowly release that foot down to your mat. Coming back into your forward fold, pause here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet, rise up, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up, slight bend in your knees, cactus the arms. Big breath into that heart space. One more inhale here, and exhale. On your next inhale, press into the strength of your legs, rise up. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, sweep the arms up, come back into your chair pose and pause. Again, adjust as you need to. That weight is in your heels, the shoulders are relaxed. Strong through your core. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, fingertips reach up and back just a little. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Go ahead and grab your blocks once again. This time step your left foot way back, coming into that runner's lunge. This time either keeping the left hand planted on the inside of that right foot or all the way down to your mat. When you're ready, inhale, right arm reaches up, coming into your twist on the other side. Take another deep breath here. On your exhale, release your hand down. I would recommend grabbing the blocks or bringing your hands down to the earth. Step that foot forward just a little and over to the left to widen your stance. And then begin to walk your hands up that front leg. Again, the knee is above the ankle. Pause at your hips, making sure both hips are facing forward. When you feel ready, inhale, arms up to the sky, coming into your crescent warrior. Breathing deeply. Taking the option to add a little bend to that back knee if you'd like. Listen to your body, what feels good and feels right to you. Take another big breath here. On your exhale, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Take a couple more breaths in this space. On your next inhale, both arms reach up tall. On your exhale, hinging forward, grab onto your blocks, bring them to the highest height, way out in front of that front foot. As you kick and step forward just slightly, pressing into the blocks for support. Kick up through your back leg, coming into your warrior three on the other side. Breathe deep. Long line of energy from the heel all the way through the crown of your head. Take another breath here. On your exhale, hug your knee into your chest and slowly release that foot down, coming back down into your forward fold. Pausing here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet, strong legs, rise up, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. One more inhale, lifting arms up. Exhale, bending the knees, cactus the arms. 3 breaths here. Breathe into the heart space. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, rest your chest on your thighs. On your inhale, sweep the arms up, come into your chair pose. Relaxing the shoulders, engage the core. Breathe deep. On your next inhale, straighten the legs up, arms reach up and back, little back bend. And exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Plant both hands, step your feet back and come into a downward facing dog. Take a moment to find movement here or stillness. If a vinyasa is part of your practice and you'd like to take that now, feel free to go ahead and do that. If you're feeling tired, like you need a little rest, you might bring your knees down to your mat and take a child's pose for a moment. Listen to your body. This is your practice, always honoring, always listening. When you're ready, look up between the palms of your hands once again from your down dog position. And then again, as many steps as it takes, just walk your feet to the top of your mat, coming back into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root your feet, strong legs rise up, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend in your knees, cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Breathe deep. On your next inhale, both arms reach tall. Exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. Bend your knees a lot, rest your chest on your thighs. Inhale, sweep the arms up, come into your chair. On your next inhale, strong legs rise up, fingertips reach up and back, little back bend. And exhale, swan dive down into your forward fold. You can grab your blocks if you'd like. When you're ready, step your left foot back. Turn your toes so they're facing the long edge of your mat. Cartwheel your arms up to a T and set yourself up for warrior two. So the heel of that right foot is in alignment with the arch or the heel of that back foot. Your right knee is directly over that right ankle, so nice deep bend in the knee. And then situate your legs as far apart as feels comfortable to you, where you're feeling a little bit of resistance in the legs, but not too much that you can't hold it. Arms come out to a T, come into your warrior two. Your gaze might look out over those right fingertips. Breathing deep. On your next inhale, both arms lift up tall. Begin to straighten through that front leg, coming into kind of an extended triangle pose. Another big breath here. On your exhale, bend into your warrior two. We'll find some flow here. Inhale, straighten that leg, arms reach up. Exhale, bend and lower into your warrior two. 3 more times with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in and let it out. Last time, big breath. And exhale into your warrior two. This time keeping your arms where they are, straighten out through that front leg. If you want to step that back foot in just slightly, you can. Begin to reach those right fingertips way forward so you're kicking that left hip towards the back of the room. Slowly hinging at your waist, let that right hand either come down to your shin, down to a block, or down to the mat. And that left arm is going to reach straight up to the sky, coming into your triangle pose. So keep a little soft bend through that front knee. You never want to hyperextend there. And then find the gaze that works for you and breathe deep here. On your next inhale, slowly press yourself back up. You can bend through that front knee, coming back into your warrior two for another breath. And then release your hands down to your hips and turn those right toes forward so that you're coming into a nice wide stance. The toes are pointing towards that long edge of your mat. Your heels might be kicked out just slightly, so the toes might be pointed in just a tiny bit, almost like a pigeon-toed position. Inhale, lift the arms high. On your exhale, with a slight bend in your knees, begin to hinge at your hips, reaching your fingertips forward. Pause here in center. Weight is in your feet, in your heels. Take another big breath here. On your exhale, let your hands come all the way down to the earth or to blocks, whatever is most comfortable and most accessible for you. Let yourself feel into this wide fold And then keeping your fingertips on the earth, on your inhale, lift up to a flat back halfway lift. And then as you exhale, melt into the fold a little more. From here, bring your heels in slightly, turning your toes out at an angle, and begin to walk your hands over to the right as you bend through that right knee, coming into a side lunge. Walking your hands through center, straightening through that right leg, bending through the left knee, walk your hands over, bringing the lunge to the opposite side. And now we'll find a little movement here, intuitive movement, what feels good to you. You can just walk your hands side to side, moving with the breath, feeling into these lunges, or you can find stillness on one side. Feel that strength and that power in your legs. And when you're ready, walk both hands over to the right once again, keeping that right hand planted on the inside of that right foot. Slowly inhale that left arm up, coming into a twist. Release that left hand down. Walk your hands through center, come to the other side, keeping that left hand planted. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Releasing the right hand down, coming back through center. Turn your toes so that they're facing forward once again. Bringing your hands up to your hips with a slight bend in your knees. Slowly lift yourself all the way back up to standing. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back a couple of times if you'd like. And then when you're ready, keeping your right foot facing the long edge of that mat, turn your left toes so that they're facing the back edge, bending through that left knee, setting up for a warrior two on the other side. So adjust your feet as you need to find a comfortable spot for you where you can hold this for a few breaths. And then breathe, looking over those left fingertips, keeping a soft gaze. On your next inhale, both arms are going to reach up, straightening out through that front leg, coming into that extended triangle. On your exhale, slowly lower down into warrior two. Now we'll find some flow. Inhale, arms lift up, and exhale, bend and lower. 3 more times with your breath. Inhale, and exhale. Deep, expansive breath in and out. Last one, big breath in and let it out. Pause here for a moment. And then keeping your arms where they are, straighten out through that front leg. You might heel toe that back foot in just slightly. Begin to reach the left fingertips towards the back of the mat. Hinging from your waist, let your hand come down to your shin, the mat, or to a block, and that right arm will reach straight up to the sky. Coming into your triangle pose on the other side. Breathing deep, find the gaze that works for you, breathing, connecting. You're ready, slowly press yourself back up, bending through that left knee, coming back into your warrior two for just a breath. And then releasing your hands down to your hips. Turn those left toes so that they're facing forward, coming into that wide stance once again. This time, bring your heels in slightly, turn your toes out at an angle. Take a deep inhale, lift the arms high. Interlace your fingers as we did in the beginning of practice, extending your pointer fingers and placing your left thumb over your right in Kali Mudra. Take an inhale, reach up tall. On your exhale, draw your hands down to your heart, bending through your knees, coming into your goddess pose. Breathe deep. You might close your eyes, finding stillness. If you'd like, you could take some gentle pulses. You could take some gentle rocks side to side. Breathing into the strength and the power in your legs. That strength and that power in your whole body. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, release the hands, arms come up to a 5-pointed star. Breathe deep. One more inhale. On your exhale, this time cactus the arms as you bend through your knees, coming into your full goddess pose. And breathe. Again, either finding stillness, taking those gentle pulses, maybe the rock side to side, what feels good to you in this moment. Listen. Three more breaths here, you can do it. On your next inhale, straighten the legs, arms reach up to a V, 5-pointed star. Take a big breath. And then on your exhale, draw your hands down to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Heel toe your feet together towards one another, and then pause here. Maybe place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on top of your left, and breathe. Feel your heart beating. Send love and gratitude to your heart, to your entire body, for all of the miracles it performs to you, for you every single day, every moment of every day. When you're ready, release your hands down by your sides. We'll step back to the top of your mat. I'm going to continue facing this way so that you can see me. Bring your feet about hip width distance apart, slight bend in your knees, setting up for your mountain pose. Pull your belly button into your spine to release your tailbone. Arms are resting by your sides. You might roll your shoulders up, down, and back to pull them and release them away from your ears. Lift up through the crown of your head and take a slight tilt forward of your chin. And pause here, either finding a steady gaze in front of you or close your eyes and feel the strength and the power in this mountain pose. And when you're ready, let your eyes softly flutter open if you have them closed, and find that steady gaze. Find your drishti out in front of you, a point of stillness. Your hands can stay down by your sides, or you can bring them out to a T for a little more support as you begin to shift the weight into your right leg, into your right foot, really rooting and grounding through that right foot. Tap your left toes on the inside of that right ankle, and we're going to set up for our tree pose. So begin to turn the knee out. You might rest your heel right on the inside of that ankle, and this might be your tree for today. Maybe you begin to lift the toes up off of the earth and place the sole of your foot on the inside of your calf. Maybe you reach down and grab onto your foot and bring it to the inside of your thigh. Your choice, your practice. Just being mindful of the knee area, never resting the foot directly on the knee. Keep that steady gaze and continue to breathe. The arms can stay wherever they're most comfortable, either out to the sides. Maybe you bring them up towards the sky. Maybe you keep them at heart center, connecting with the breath. If you become wobbly and fall out of the pose, no big deal. Put a smile on and gently come back into it at your own time. When you're ready, very slowly begin to release that left foot down. You can turn the knee back through center, releasing the sole of the foot down. You might give your legs a little shake to take any tension out of that right leg and right hip. And then pause for a second, coming back into your mountain pose just as we did before. Beginning right there. Continue to breathe, keeping that steady gaze out in front of you. And when you're ready, slowly begin to shift the weight into your left leg this time. Slight bend in that knee, pressing through the sole of the foot. Begin to tap your right toes on the inside of that ankle. And then when you're ready, turning the knee out, either resting the heel of your foot on the inside of that ankle, or beginning to lift the toes up off of the earth, placing the sole of the foot on the inside of your calf, or reaching down with your hand, bringing the foot all the way up to your inside of your upper thigh. Find the arm position that works for you, that helps you with your balance, and breathe. Noticing one side could be completely different than the other. Usually everyone has one side that is a little easier than the other. So whether this is your easy side or your challenging side, or maybe it's the same, just noticing. And again, if you fall out, no big deal. Just smile and get back up and try again. Challenging yourself. Keeping that point of stillness, that steady focus to help you, keep you rooted and grounded. Slowly, when you're ready, begin to release that right foot down, turning the knee forward, releasing the sole of the foot all the way down. You can give your legs a little shake if you'd like. And then from here, stepping your feet as wide as your mat, toes turning out at a slight angle. Let's roll the shoulders up, down, and back a couple of times to release any tension. And then when you're ready, inhaling, arms reach up. On your exhale, draw your hands down to your heart, bending through your knees, coming through your squat pose. Pausing right here if you'd like. When you're ready, releasing one hand in front of you, one hand behind you, and slowly releasing your seat all the way down onto your mat. You can rest your forehead on the backs of your knees if you'd like to take any tension out of the back of the neck. And then when you're ready, from here, bringing your hands to your knees, slowly guide them out away from each other, bringing the soles of the feet together, coming into our bound angle pose. So if this is a lot for your hips, you can sit on the edge of a blanket, you can sit on a block, and begin to bring your heels back towards your pelvis. Knees are pointing straight out to the sides. You can also take blocks and place them under your knees for a little support if that feels comfortable for you. Holding on to your feet in whatever way feels best for you or your ankles. Lift up nice and tall through the spine on your inhale. On your exhale, very slowly begin to walk your hands forward, folding forward slowly. Again, we're not forcing, we're just allowing ourselves to connect with the breath. As you inhale, you fill up, and then as you exhale, you soften a little bit more into the shape. Continue connecting with the breath. Take a couple more breaths here. And then very slowly begin to walk your hands back, lifting up through your torso. From here, gently bring the hands to the outsides of your knees. Guide your knees back together. And from here, having a block handy about halfway down your mat in case you want it. Holding on to the backs of your legs or the fronts of your knees for support. If you want that little bit of core work, then bring your arms out in front of you, palms facing up to the sky. On your inhale, lift the torso, lift the spine tall. On your exhale, as slow as you possibly can, bring yourself down to your mat, using your core strength to get there every step of the way. Once you arrive, walk your heels in, lift your pelvis, and release it back down to release the low back. And then hugging your knees into your chest, you can take a gentle sway side to side. And then releasing the feet back down to your mat, cross your right ankle over your left knee, coming into your figure 4 position here. Reach forward with that right hand. You might press that right knee open, and you might stay right here if you'd like. Or begin to pull that left knee back towards you, maybe reaching your hands to the back of your thigh or the front of your shin, keeping that right foot flexed to protect the knee joint. And pause here, breathing deeply in your reclining pigeon pose. You might close your eyes, let yourself feel what you're feeling. More breaths here. From here, slowly release that left foot back down to the earth. Bring your arms out to the sides, out to a T, and then cross that right knee over the left. You might wiggle your hips over to the right just slightly. And then maybe begin to hug your knees into your chest and let both legs fall over to the left. Coming into a cross-leg twist. So if this doesn't feel good to you, then just simply uncross the knee and stack your knees one on top of the other. And breathe deeply into your twist. Slowly, when you're ready, Using your core strength, bring both knees back through center, adjust your hips back through center, and then uncross that right knee. Making any adjustments that you need to when you're ready, crossing the left ankle over your right knee this time. Reach forward with your left hand, press that knee open, and either stay right here or begin to draw that right knee back towards you, grabbing onto whatever spot feels best for you. Again, keeping that left foot flexed to protect the knee joint. Closing your eyes if that feels okay. Breathing into the hip area or any place else you're feeling tension. Feel ready, releasing the hands, letting that right foot fall down to the mat. Cross that left knee on top of the right. Bring your arms out to the sides, out to a T, and then shift your hips over to the left slightly. Hug your knees into your chest and let both knees fall over to the right this time. Finding the gaze that works for you. Continue to breathe. Using your core strength, very slowly bring your knees back through center. Uncross that left leg, adjust your hips, and then maybe just let your knees sway side to side for a moment. Pausing in center, hug your knees into your chest once again. And then release the feet down to your mat, grabbing onto your block once again. On your inhale, press into the soles of your feet, lift your hips up and tuck that block right under your sacrum, right under that bony area at the base of your spine. With the soles of your feet resting down on your mat, you can pause right here in this supported bridge pose. If you'd like to have a little more space, you might turn the block on the medium height and rest here in your bridge pose. So find the space and the spot that works for you and breathe. Nice gentle inversion, supported. Sending that signal to your body, to your mind, to your nervous system that you are safe. Down on the lowest height, and you'd like to begin to bend your knees into your chest and then send your feet up towards the sky, coming into a supported shoulder stand, you can. Or just simply stay in your bridge pose. If you have your legs lifted and you want to point and flex your feet or circle your ankles, you can do that. find stillness. If you have your legs lifted, very slowly begin to hug them into your chest once again and release the soles of your feet down to your mat. Pressing into your feet, lift up through your hips and gently remove the block and set it aside. Hugging your knees into your chest one final time. We'll take this next minute or so to find any movements, any shapes that your body's calling for before we set up for Shavasana. If you'd like to come into Happy Baby, holding onto the insides or outsides of your feet, I always love to end practice this way. If there's another inversion your body's calling for, or another twist, listen to that intuition. Let your body and your breath lead you and guide you. Practice feels complete, go ahead and grab any props that you may want to set yourself up for your most comfortable form of Shavasana. What would feel good to you? Maybe covering with a blanket, placing a blanket over your torso for a little weight, a little grounding energy. Rolling a blanket under your knees or placing a rolled blanket under your neck. What would give you the support that you need for this final resting pose? Our most important pose of our practice, where our bodies integrate all of the beautiful energy we've created on our mats to bring healing to the body, the mind, and the spirit. If your mind has already wandered off onto the things that you need to do when you leave your mat today, just see if you can bring it back in. See if you can continue to rest with the breath. Continue to allow yourself to be right here in this moment. Again, nowhere to go, nothing to do, but just be. Shavasana. whichever side would feel best to you. Pausing in your fetus pose for just a moment. Breathing into that energy of fresh starts, new beginnings, rebirth. Knowing that you've done a beautiful thing on your mat here today, creating beautiful energy, breathing that into your space, and then sending that positivity out into the world, out to all of your loved ones, out to all of those you come in contact with in any way. Using the strength of your upper body, very slowly begin to press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Letting your hands fall in your lap, palms face down to fully ground yourself back in, keeping your eyes closed down if that feels comfortable. Pausing here for just a moment, letting yourself ground back in. And then bringing hands back to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Maybe recalling the intention you set at the beginning of practice. And then when you're ready, bowing forehead to fingertips, connecting head to heart, and sealing in your practice. The light in me honors and deeply bows to the light in each of you. With so much love and gratitude for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, joining me today. I hope you feel amazing, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.